everyone, it's Dr. K, writing under oath. How are you? Get a load of this. This is a little snippet from an article about literary nonfiction, which is a field in itself, a field that I did concentrated doctoral work in. Literary nonfiction, to put it simply, is nonfiction that relies on the techniques of novel writing, creating a story, using dialogue, scene, setting, that kind of thing. It does not mean that facts are made up. But there are all kinds of critics out there of literary nonfiction, and here's I want to read you a paragraph from an article called Literary License by Megan O'Rourke. In defense of making up information in literary nonfiction. Okay, she says, after all, unlike newspaper stories, literary journalism seeks to make or conjure up a broader reality, to bring us into a world. This isn't news of the who, what, when, where, why, how variety, but news of the kind that can only be said the novel can deliver, news that resonates with the potency of its presentation. Strictly segregating fact from fiction hobbles literary journalists unnecessarily. Where fiction is an inclusive genre, one that allows for its conventions to be violated, journalism relies on a system of conventions intended to guarantee objectivity. But clearly, even these conventions don't make for pure objectivity, which from the start comprises the sanctity of the fact-fiction opposition. Consider recent studies suggesting that first-hand witnesses often remember events differently, calling into question the reliability of some journalistic witnesses. Well, the last I checked it out, a fact is a fact. A is A, and B is B, and this table is a table. It's not anything else, and for me to suggest or describe it as something other than a table would be a fiction. The fact is that writing nonfiction is writing under oath. You take an oath when you set your hands to the keyboard that you will tell the truth and nothing but the truth. This is objective. This is not a pragmatist view. This is not subjective, unless, of course, you're writing a memoir, and that then is the truth as I see it. And in that situation, dialogue should not be put into quotes unless you specifically wrote down the dialogue at the time that you're describing. This kind of description of literary journalism is nonsense. Remember that. There is no separating fact from fiction in a piece of journalistic news. And what makes it literary is that the events are structured in such a way that they tell a story rather than a chronological reporting of the facts. They are put together to reflect the structure of the event. And events that are going to be put into a story, a nonfiction story, have a beginning, a middle, and an end. There are people who talk, there is setting, there is a theme. All of these things go into making a piece literary, not fiction. This does not make it a fiction. More to come. Thanks for listening. Writing under oath.